Saint Lucia, mama, that's the land of my birth. Welcome, welcome to Saint Lucia. Saint Lucia, where you did? 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 That's our nationality. Saint Lucia, where you did? Saint Lucia, where you did?
Good morning,
Saint Lucia,
Mama.
where you did? That's our nationality. I am a winner. Every year I giving them songs like Darren Sammy giving them run. A winner, I'm a winner. Tell them I don't need no crown, cause I'm the people's champion. A winner, I'm a winner. Tell them they cannot hold me down, I jumping high like Love and Spencer. A winner, I'm a winner. Nobody can block my goal, you block my goal. Back in 2010, imagine they ban my song just because I asked one question. Who's gonna the your mother con? Felt like I did something wrong, so I wrote a brand new song. I gave them the gloco that mash up every radio station. I travel from island to island, represent from county to state. People chanting everywhere I go. Say Lucia Willow, my island is 96 degrees love. My temperature, I don't want to freeze, so I'm coming back home. Say Lucia, where you did? Say Lucia, where you
Good
did?
morning to
Say
you,
Lucia, where
Mama.
you did? Say Lucia, where you did? That's our national.
It is 10:02. Bonjour tout le monde. Jodi à c'est vendredi. Et puis 10 et puis top pour Rum Shop Talks. Or, like my mother would like me to say, et top pour conversation Kabawe Wong. Did I say it correctly, Ma? Hopefully I did. Anyways, so today we're gonna go back to our traditional rum drink and legal question format that we've been using for Rum Shop. And in preparation for this, I actually did research, of course, and found that the Chairman's, the St. Lucian rum, they actually had a list of drinks that you can make with Chairman's. So I figured for this week and for subsequent weeks, I will be showing you guys one new recipe off of the Chairman's website. And today, our recipe is the Chairman's Airmail. And so for you guys who live in the Caribbean or have been in the Caribbean or like internationally, you probably know what an Airmail envelope looks like. It is like the white envelope with the red and blue straps around it. And that's what I always think about when I think of Airmail. So, a Chairman's Airmail. We're gonna start with our basic ingredients. You always, of course, have to have your Chairman's or any kind of dark rum that you have, but definitely you want to have your Chairman's. And we're gonna be using some Prosecco and limes, which I have already cut and squeezed for today's presentation, and then some honey syrup. So I didn't know what honey syrup is and had to look it up. And what honey syrup is simply liquid honey. So you take a cup of honey and about a half a cup to a cup of warm water. You stir it up, get that honey all liquefied in there, and then voila, you have yourself some honey syrup. So let's get started. And of course, you have to have your glass. Now, I always like prep the ice before this, and then it gets really hot and it starts to melt. But we're actually doing okay today. I set up part here. I'm gonna pop open the Prosecco, and you guys get to see my, hey Linda, girlfriend, good morning, happy Friday. Welcome, Kathy. I am all, ooh, got it off. This is like fun and shake it. I love doing this. This is so much fun. Ready? Woo! All right, so our Prosecco has been popped, and now we're just gonna add our ingredients to our shaker. So you start with your cherries. You're going to add an ounce of the cherries in your shaker. All right, I said it right this morning. My mom just said. So I'm using the cap of my my shaker to measure it. So I've got an ounce of cherries, and then you need a half an ounce of the lime juice in here, and then a half an ounce of the honey syrup in there. What I love about this, hey John, good morning. What I absolutely love about this recipe is how easy it is, like 4 ingredients and that's it. So we're gonna get a little shake on here. Shake, 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 shake. All right, and then we're gonna pour that into our glass here. Oh, my hands are all slippery. Look at this, you guys. So pretty. And then gotta cap that because I would hate for it to fall and all my rum spilled. You guys know how I am. If you know me, I don't like to waste alcohol. This is just like, you know, a no-no. And then we're gonna top that with our Prosecco. And voila, here is your cherries Airmail. So, confession time, you guys. I did not practice this last night. So, this is my first time making it. Let me tell you, I'll taste it, I'll let you know how it is. Oh, this is so good, so refreshing. And this is not the fake Food Network, so good, so refreshing, but really like don't taste really good. No, this is really good. So I'm gonna be posting the recipe down below for you guys to try it out. Definitely try it out. You taste the lime, and it's tart and sweet, but the honey gives you that sweetness, and then you got that little bubbly, and the rum is kind of buried in there. But I imagine if you have, like, you know, finished the whole glass, you'll know the rum's in there. All right, so I'm gonna set that drink, you know, right here. I might want to take a sip, like, you know, as we're talking. And wanted to address our question of the day. So our legal question for today is, it was from someone: I am single, not married, no children. Do I need an estate plan? And why would I need an estate plan if the answer is yes? So the answer to that question is yes. Even if you are single and not married and don't have children, you need an estate plan. Then the follow-up is why? Why do I need an estate plan when I don't have these people in my life? So I know a lot of professionals who are successful. And it's their definition of successful, what that looks like. You know, if they own homes, they have life insurance policies. You know, it's like they have savings accounts. They've been able to, like, you know, protect. I do a lot of estate planning for single people who are in that position. And why are those people estate planning? The main reason why that people do estate plans who are single is to make sure that they appoint an agent for their health care and for their finances if they become incapacitated. You know, it's like I'm constantly preaching lately to parents that when their children turn 18, they need to have those documents for the parents to be able to access and help their children. But what we don't realize is for single people who don't have a spouse who's readily available to step in and help them, who don't have adult children who can do that, those single people need to make sure, it's even more important for them to make sure that they've appointed agents for their health care and for their finances. You know, incapacity comes in different forms. It comes at any point. You know, the whole thing about estate planning is we're planning for the unexpected. And so for my single people out there, while you sip on your chairman's airmail, that is one of the reasons why you will, that's reason number one why you should have an estate plan. Reason number two for having an estate plan is that the probate code sets out, if you don't have any estate plan and you pass away, the California probate code sets out how to distribute your estate. And the usual distribution is your spouse first, your children, and then your parents, your siblings, your nieces and nephew, and then down that road you go. If you do not, if this is not a distribution scheme for you, right? Or you're like, you know what, I would rather my estate go to my nieces and nephew, which for us, if something would happen to each other and our children, you know, my husband and I were like, you know, our nieces and nephews where that's who would like to benefit, the next generation. So if you're like us and you want to benefit the next generation, then you need to have an estate plan that dictate that. Because if your parents are still alive and or your siblings are still alive, they come first in line before your nieces and nephews. So if there is a beneficiary that you have, you know, whether that is, like I said, you know, an alternate family member or a charitable organization. A lot of single people have pets, you know, so what happens to your pets if you pass away? Who gets them? Do you want to set money aside for that pet to be taken care of? You know, all those things are not things that the probate court actually provides for. So it will be on you to have an estate plan so that you can make sure that those things are taken care of. So that is reason number two. So reason number one is making sure that you have someone appointed to help step in and manage your affairs if you become incapacitated. Reason number two is appointing the beneficiaries that you want. That might not necessarily be what the probate code provides. And reason number three also would going on along the same lines is making sure that you appoint someone to manage your affairs when you've passed away. I'm doing a probate right now for a client whose brother passed away. He had no kids. He had no, things are popping up in here. It's hot. He had no kids. He wasn't married. He owned 2 condos. He had a life insurance policy. His mom was a beneficiary of his life insurance policy, and his mom had passed away. You know, so this person passed, he had a pension from work, you know, so you don't need to have a lot to plan for your estate. If you have something and you'd like to make sure that it goes to a particular place, you know, for that guy who passed away, luckily he had 2 half siblings who one of them stepped in and agreed to be the executor, but his siblings are going to be the beneficiaries of his estate. You know, it begs the question, is that what he would have really wanted? You know, if he was here, are those the choices that he would have made for himself? And so my single people out here, that's what I pose to you. The question I would like to pose to you today is, from what I just said in how the probate code distributes things, is that where you'd like your assets to go? If you are laying somewhere in a hospital, do you have someone who is designated to be notified and who can come in and step in and help you take care of your bills, make sure that your mortgage is paid, make sure that your taxes are filed, make sure that your life continues while you're in the hospital until you come out? Do you have someone to do that for you? If the answer to those questions are no, then you need an estate plan. And so you guys know I like to come in, make it short and sweet, and hop out. It is hot. I am sweating. The sun is on me. So I'm gonna hold off for a bit. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If you wanted to just email me the questions later on, we can handle them that way too. As a reminder, you need an ounce of Chemins. You need a half an ounce of lime juice, a half an ounce of honey syrup, and you top it up with some prosecco, and we have us a Chairman's Airmail. It is looking out to be a pretty hot day today, so it is a perfect day for a refreshing drink like this. I see no questions coming in, so I'm gonna wish you all a happy Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys next week for another episode of Rum Shop Talks and a brand new Chairman's drink recipe. So see you guys next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye. That was a big bee thing in my face. All right.
Why we can't come together? Why we always apart?
Down.
Labor Day solutions then in a Trinidad.
I'll come do it. I'll come do it. I'll come do it. No, I'll come do it.
Put on my radio, say I in Jamaica.
Here's my big face as I turn off our live. Bye.